If you don't see my shirt, Insty, it says Power Nap. It's got Baby Yoda on it. That's what's up. My hair looks a little crazy, and I do apologize. It's end of day. It's one of those days. So hopefully I don't get like a random phone call or anything. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. How are you doing tonight? I can't wait to talk about this. This is a story time. If you all are ready, I got a story time for all y'all. Because, I love telling stories about things that have happened to me in my life. And how I utilize that to change things. So I do realize if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, my video is probably really crap, and I'm super sorry about it, but I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi. It's been a few days now. So to jump right into the story, let me know as you hop on that you're hopping on to listen to my story, because I have a feeling it's going to be a good one. So to start out, my name is Jocelyn Kopak. I am a business strategist, marketing strategist, and DEI educator. I'm also a serial entrepreneur. So when I have story times for you, that means that it actually happened to me at some point in time, which is crazy. So with that, we're talking today about if it is a con or if it is truly something that will help you and your business, and how to kind of tell the difference, and how to make sure that you aren't giving off these vibes when you go to prospect and do sales calls and everything. So as you're hopping on, say hello, drop your name of your business, and drop what you're up to this weekend. I would love to hear you. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. But to jump right into my story time. So in my time between corporate America and my businesses, I probably have interviewed thousands of people. Before I got to my businesses and became a serial entrepreneur full time, I was actually in corporate America as a recruiter and trainer, HR, basically. So I have literally interviewed, looked at hundreds of thousands of resumes. Okay, maybe not hundreds of thousands, but thousands of resumes, interviewed hundreds of people, hired hundreds of people. And when I came into owning my business, it also, lots of interviewing, lots of prospecting. I mean, I think our most recent job had over 100 applicants. So, just to kind of keep that in perspective. So the story I'm going to tell you is about a wonderful con artist. If you've been in my network for a while, you'll know this. And I want to kind of take a step back here before I tell you the story and tell you that if it feels wrong in your gut, if something feels weird, if you have to qualify it for a weird reason, guess what? It probably is weird, and you probably shouldn't do it. So, so just so you know, if that's something that you're feeling, probably the reason. Smart people don't have to tell you how smart they are. Rich people don't have to tell you how rich they are. Tough people don't have to tell you how tough they are. Honest people don't have to tell you how honest they are. So if you are on a sales call with somebody and they're like, we're amazing, super, super honest, I will never lead you wrong. Guess what? You should be probably running in the other direction, because you don't need to say that to know that somebody's honest, right? So here's the story. So about 2 years ago now, I was hiring for my marketing agency. And while I was hiring, I was looking for a content creator. That's like the number one thing I look for all the time in my agency, new content creators. And I was looking for a content creator, and there was a girl on my friends list in Facebook that said, oh my gosh, you should hire so-and-so, they'll do it for you. And I was like, perfect, great, whatever, right? And this is back when my hiring processes for my own business were a little bit more lax than they are now. And so I hired this girl just by talking to her via Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Messenger. I don't know if you can hear my cats losing their minds in the background. Of course, every live video I do. Anyway, and so I hired her. She did good work for about 2 days, and then it was bad. Okay. And I was like, this is really weird. And it gets better, guys. It gets better. The story gets better. This gets really weird. And I was like, this is really weird. So I went back to the girl that recommended her. And I was like, I don't know where she went, but she fell off the face of the earth. Not good content. She's gone. And this girl was like, oh, no. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. She's going through some family stuff. It is what it is. I can do this work for you. And I was like, okay, perfect. Done. Hired her. She was good for about 5 days, and then stuff started hitting the fan. As soon as we had her in our Slack channels this is back when I used Slack. As soon as I had her in our Slack channels for our team, she, one of my senior content creators came to me and was like, do you know who this is? And I was like, yeah, she's been, in my network for a long time. She does good work from what I've seen, not a big deal. She was like, no, you need to go look at this. And it was this big, long post. And it was a public Facebook post, big, long post about how she had scammed this girl. And it was this whole thing. And I was like, when I read it at the time and I went back to my senior content creator at the time, I was like, I read that as she started a business and she got way in over her head and didn't know how to do the customer service to make people happy, even though she's way over her head. And she just kind of lost it. And I should have listened to my gut then, where I am, and this is something that I've learned over years and years, is I can't be a fixer for you, right? I can be your support system. I can be a great boss. At least I try to be, right? But I can't be a fixer for you and your problems. And so that all happened. She worked for us for a few more days. And then all of a sudden, the original girl that she recommended and her were embroiled in this whole thing in this Facebook group of how this girl had stolen a bunch of money from people and wasn't fulfilling on work and all of this stuff, right? To end this story, even though it gets crazy in depth, and if you scroll back, I don't know, a year or a year and a half or whatever, you'll see my videos about her. To kind of give you an idea, though, I didn't listen to my gut, right? I didn't listen to my gut when it said, get rid of her. I didn't listen to my gut when it said she's got way too much going on in her life for whatever reason it is. I didn't listen to my gut, and it bit me in the ass. It was bad, guys. Like, FBI got involved, stalker, crazy scammer, blackmailing lady. Okay. So this is all to say, story time, told you. If you want me to go more in depth with my story, put it in the comments and I totally will. But I don't want to waste your guys' time. So, with that all kind of comes back to hiring and working with people, your sales process, how you make people feel during the sales process and then going forward out of the sales process, and really how you get prospects to say yes to you and feel like they're saying yes in a good way. And so you don't come off as a con or a scam, and you come off as real, right? So when you're hiring in your business, that feeling of being told they are something, even if they don't necessarily fit that, keep that in mind, because it will actually change how you hire and work with people. And I tell you this story and I tell you this because right now, a lot of people are doing a lot of 2021 planning, right? I think I've gotten probably 50 emails about 2021 planning easily. So with that 2021 planning, if you're planning to start hiring someone or hiring a coach or an expert or something like that, and this is something I've been talking about a lot with some of my partners, is hire for community, hire for someone that is real, someone that doesn't have to tell you who they are, but hiring because you can see that's who they are, right? Because again, honest people don't have to tell you how honest they are. That's what con men or con people do, right? If you're hopping on, say hi, hello. So that's what con people do. Oopsie, moving my phone around. I'm getting buzzed. My Snapchat's going off. Whoop, whoop. And that's what con people do, is they tell you things before you have a chance to experience them for yourself. So when you're hiring, when you're looking at people, keep that in mind. The second thing I want you to keep in mind is the vice versa, the flip of that, right? And when you are the one being hired, right, for whatever you do, most of you are women in my network. Most of you are either a coach or a service-based entrepreneur here online, building an online brand, killing it. I know this because I see you. But hi, Mrs. Rockstar Entrepreneur, Miss Rockstar Entrepreneur on Instagram. Hello. How are you tonight? And as you go into 2021 and you're looking at that and you're looking at your sales process, you're looking at how you're going to hit your sales goals, you're looking at how you're going to do your marketing, stop and think about that. I don't have to tell somebody how I am. I'll let that speak for myself, right? Like everyone knows, if you watch any of my videos or anything, I swear like a sailor, right? I'll let that speak for myself, for myself, right? I don't have to tell you that I cuss up a storm, right? That's not something I have to say. But you know that by interacting with me, by interacting with my content, and by looking at my sales pages even, right? So what I want you to think about is, during your sales process, are you putting feelings? Are you putting preconceived notions into your sales, in your prospect's head during the sales process, whether that's you do a sales call, or you make them watch a webinar first, or whatever it is? Are you putting those notions in their head beforehand? And how that can turn people off, right? I'm here to experience you. I'm here to see what kind of ROI you're going to bring my business. I'm here to see what my business is going to look like in 6 months. I'm not here for you to tell me who you are, right? I should be able to decide that based off of all the content you put out, based off of how you're interacting with me on the sales call, right? So keep that in mind. You don't want to come off as a con man, right? And if you're one of these people, I literally just had a call with somebody just a few days ago. If you're one of these people, you're going to be able to put it in the comments that you're one of these people. You have a hard time talking about yourself and the accomplishments you have gotten, period. You can't talk about it at all. You're like, I mean, yeah, I guess I was in the Entrepreneur magazine. Like, that's kind of how you talk about it. You don't make it a front and center thing. You don't make it accessible to your prospects, to your audience, right? If that's you, put it in the comments. I want to hear from you right now. Like, oh yeah, that resonated. That was totally me. Or totally is me, not even was. It doesn't have to be past tense. It could be current tense, present tense. That it's you right now, that you have a hard time talking about yourself in a way that comes off as an authority instead of a con man. Right? If you're coming off as an authority, it's going to be much, much, much better for you and your business than coming off as putting in feelings and preconceived notions into your prospect's head. That's going to do two things, just so you know. Side note, it's going to do two things during your sales process. One, they're going to come off the sales process and they're going to come down from that sales call. Let's say you're doing a sales call, they're going to come down from it and they're going to feel like this weird dissonance, right? Because maybe what they were thinking and what you said made sense to them, but they're not quite feeling the same kind of hype they were feeling from when they were on the call with you. So that's one. The second thing is they may actually get some preconceived notions about how it's going to work with them and their business and you, and it's going to create a dissonance there, and that's going to make a bad customer experience, especially if they sign on with you and then they're like, wait a second, you said you were always super punctual and you said you're going to send me an email yesterday and you didn't, right? So things like that you just basically kicked yourself in the ass for no reason, right? Like, there was no reason for you to do that other than you were trying to get a sale in a way that's con artisty, right? We talk about that as like the slimy sales tactics. We don't want you to be that person, right? And so I have an ebook for you if you're having a hard time talking about yourself, if you're having a hard time coming up with ways to say I'm amazing without having to say, girl, I'm amazing. Like, you don't want to say that on a sales call. You want that to come across through your expertise, through the way you speak, through the way you interact with people, right? And it's the ebook for writing a converting about page, right? People talk about converting on sales pages all the time, right? But actually your about page converts more than your sales page probably does if somebody doesn't know who you are, right? Because that's going to tell them, that's going to give them an idea. That's going to give them a feeling of who you are before they even hop on a sales call, right? I don't know how many of you actually look at somebody's website before you hop on a sales call, but I'm one of those people. Let me know in the comments if you're one of those people. There's some people that just like go straight to the booking page and they book and they're done. I don't know. But if you're feeling like you don't know how to talk about yourself in a way that's not slimy, or you're having a weird, like, just you can't quite figure out how to say that without being like super vain about it, even though, girl, you totally celebrate all your wins, all of them, all the time. And I'm coming into that phase of my life as an entrepreneur where I'm like, you know what? We just signed a $600 contract. Is that the biggest contract we have? No. But guess what? We're going to celebrate it. Celebrate the same as if we signed a $7,000 contract because it's exciting and it's big, right? So you should still be celebrating that stuff. But if you don't know how to talk about it in a way that comes off as authentic and thorough and from a place of authority, you look around this video somewhere. I don't know. And if you're on Instagram, shoot me a DM. But look around this video and look for the link. There should be a link right to my website and the ebook. It's super, super affordable. It gives you literally everything you need to brainstorm and mind map all of your accomplishments and how to talk about them. And then it actually gives you an outline of how to build out that about page. And that's something that I follow. Literally, I follow my about page almost to a T. Every single time I get on a podcast, every single time I get on a sales call, every single time I talk to somebody new that's coming into my network, I talk about literally what's on my about page. Like that's if I'm having a weird day, or pre-coffee, I will pull up my about page to make sure I cover everything that I'm supposed to be covering. But to go back, if you are looking to hire in 2021, one, I want to hear about it and I want you to put in the comments what you're hoping to hire out. And if you have a plan to get there, right? Because obviously you need the cash to be able to hire it. So if you have a plan to get there, I want to hear about it. And I want to hear about any crazy stories you might have about the hiring process and con people versus authentic people. Are you real or are you not? And if you do have a good story and you put it in the comments below, I might reach out to you to be on my podcast, tell that story, because heck yeah, we have a whole section of our podcast, which is mine. I'm the hostess, but the whole team works on it. On our podcast that's called literally Spill the Tea. And the Spill the Tea episodes are literally like the story I told you earlier, crazy stuff, even though we go way more in depth than what I did. But I just wanted to tell you that story, that it's okay if you've been scammed. It's okay if you've been kind of caught up in a con like that, but you need to make sure that you're sending the right signals yourself to anyone that's hiring, and that you are really, really clear about your boundaries and where your gut is when you hire someone to help you and your business. And I don't care who that is. When I talk about hiring, I mean like engaging with a coach, getting a bookkeeper to come work on your books in the next few weeks so you're prepped for tax season, hiring somebody to do your content, hiring an executive assistant, partnering with people, right? Anything that has to do with interpersonal relations, right? So it's okay if you go wrong. Totally been there. Hell, I'm not even really past tense, like been there currently, like in the last few months. And that's just part of growing and having a business. But if you are feeling like you are ready to take that step, or maybe take that step again, hire somebody new, I want to hear about it in the comments, just because I get real nerdy about team building. So I am so glad for those of you that hopped on live. Thank you so much, Sarah and the Rockstar Entrepreneur. And I can't see everybody on Facebook, so hello. If you didn't comment, I can't help you. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM. But if you're feeling like you don't know how to talk about yourself very well, or feeling like you are kind of like weird about talking about yourself, go check out my ebook. And it's literally it's a template. You can follow it right on through to make sure you have a good way to talk about yourself. So I hope that your Saturday has been amazing and your Saturday night's gonna be great. I made myself this tea, and since I've been talking for like 20 minutes, it's finally cooled down to the point where I can like sip it. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to work on some content strategies for some clients and following up with some emails. That's what I'm going to do for the rest of the night, because I finished Supernatural, the TV show Supernatural. I did. I finished it last night. Bald. It was bad. Like my dog was worried about me. Bald. But it was a good show. It's a very good show. So if you need a show to binge, it's 15 seasons, and they're like 45-minute episodes. And there's like 20 in each season. So you got plenty to watch all winter. All right. You guys have a good rest of the night. I will see you Monday. I think I'm probably not going to go live tomorrow. I got a date. So not tomorrow, but Monday. Have a good rest of the weekend. Bye.